my friends, is the Mercedes-Benz EQS SUV. It's made in India and it is a massive luxury EV. It takes all the magic that you get with the S and combines it with cutting-edge EV technology. Of course, driving it around is a whole different feel, and in this video, I'm going to be telling you all about this stellar machine. So let's get right down to business. Set your eyes on the EQS SUV and you can immediately see the family design shining through. I mean, after all, it is part of their entire EQ lineup. So we've seen a similar design with the EQA, the EQE, and now with the EQS. Now, this is obviously their flagship product, so it is massive when you set your eyes on it, and it's just something that looks so elegant and right up there with what you would associate with a luxury EV. Now, up front, what you do get is really nice key details. So the striking black panel grille that gets the three-pointed star motif looks absolutely stunning. You've got the digital lights with the projector function. You've got the AMG style front bumper. And as you move along to the sides, a little bit of AMG carries over as well, because you get the 21-inch AMG styled alloys as well. Now, they definitely do their bit to spice up the size of the vehicle and also to bring out the fact that this is something that's special. It's something that's very premium, very luxurious, and rather upmarket. Overall, the EQS SUV does have these nice, smooth flowing lines. And again, that's been done to obviously give it a very aerodynamic presence. EVs are all about cutting through the air and maximizing efficiency. And that's what this design is all about. Yet, it looks so sophisticated. I think it's a vehicle that definitely turns heads on the roads. And if you do have the money to splurge on one of these, you know that you're getting your hands on something that's extremely special. Even as you move to the rear, you see those same smooth flowing lines, neatly integrated lights, and all of that really add that air of sophistication to this machine. When it comes to luxury and opulence, I don't think I've sat in anything quite like this vehicle before. I mean, it feels like I've been driving around in a yacht, okay? Because the comfort, the level of luxury that you see on board, the fit and finish, everything about it screams top-end, top-notch, premium class. And that's exactly what sort of wins you over. It makes you feel so good from the inside. You just want to be here, be behind the wheel pretty much all the time. But if you are going to be someone who's buying this, you're going to be spending a lot of time in the back seat as well. So that is also equally opulent. You get a ton of functionality back there, and the space is just outstanding. I'll get down to the details now on what all you get on board with the EQS SUV. To get in is really neat. You walk up to the vehicle and those nice flush door handles just pop out automatically. Open up the door and get inside, shut it. It's got those soft touch doors that do their own bit of locking. So really neat, really top-notch stuff there. And you're greeted by a cabin that is just about opulence. So obviously taking center stage is that massive hyper screen setup. So you've got a screen all the way across the center console. It's divided into three parts. So you've got the driver information display part. You've got the massive middle section that has your infotainment needs, your navigation, and all of that over there, plus a host of vehicle functions that you can access through the screen. And then the front passenger also gets their own little screen for them to tool around with and toy around with on what they need over there. When it comes to space, I think Mercedes has done a fantastic job both in the first row and the second row. So you've got ample headroom, ample legroom. The seats are just so contoured. It's just one of those feelings where you feel like you're sitting in the lap of luxury and you just never want to get out. That's how great they feel. Of course, being a Mercedes, being a flagship product over here, you get all the bells and whistles on board. So, just running through some of the key elements that are there for you, you do get the MBUX system, which I mentioned, a Burmester sound system, a very high-end sound system, multi-zone climate control. You've got a huge panoramic sunroof as well. And add to that is the fact that all your connectivity needs are taken care of with wireless charging. You got multiple little sockets for you to plug in devices and get all of that sorted as well. Going back to space and coming to the second row, it's extremely plush. It feels like you're on a sofa, and even when you fold down the armrest, you'll see that there's a digital screen there for you to again control a series of functions without having to constantly ask the driver to adjust something or the front passenger to adjust something. So again, very well thought through, because when you are looking at a vehicle of this class and category, a lot of it will be about being chauffeur driven around town. So you want that back seat to exude that level of comfort and elegance and style. And the EQS SUV does win you over when it comes to the second row. For a lot of customers of the EQS SUV, this is where they're going to be seated. And Mercedes has ensured that it's so kitted out that you're not going to be really complaining about anything. You've got access to infotainment, you've got access to a lot of information, and a series of controls as well that you can sort of configure for your own needs. The seats themselves, luxury, top-notch stuff, brilliant in terms of comfort. Your back feels great, you've got under-thigh support, leg space is fantastic. Really and honestly, there's absolutely nothing to complain about when you're seated in the back of the EQS SUV. But having said that, you do get a third row as well. It is a 3-row vehicle, so getting into the third row is actually just a small push of a button which is located on the second row seats. So right at the top, you just nudge that button and the seats slide forward. The front seats move as well, and you get enough access to the third row. But having said that, the third row is a little tight, best suited for little kids, and is something that Mercedes has not skimped on in terms of giving you that same level of seat quality and comfort. But yes, space is definitely a bit of a premium in the third row. But overall, with the interior, there's absolutely no complaint on what you get on board. It is extremely sophisticated, it feels top-notch, and once you're inside, you just feel like you've stepped into the future. So that's what it's like being on board. Now, before I get behind the wheel of the EQS SUV, let me just give you a quick rundown of the performance stats that you do get with this massive SUV. So for starters, it's got a 122 kilowatt-hour battery pack, 858 Newton meters of torque, about 540 plus PS of power. It does 0 to 100 in 4.7 seconds, has a top speed of 210 kilometers per hour, and a range on a single charge of 809 kilometers. And you also get multiple drive modes. So, whether you choose eco or normal or sport, it sort of changes the way that the power is delivered. Set it in sport mode and step on the gas and it will push you back in your seat like a jet engine. So that's what it feels like. I mean, after all, it can do 0 to 100 in 4.7 seconds and hit a top speed of 210 kilometers per hour. Now, on a single charge, the EQS has a range of 809 kilometers, which is just exceptional. Of course, in real-world conditions, these numbers will drop, but we're saying that you'll get an easy 700 on a single charge, which is absolutely brilliant. Fast charging capabilities allow it to go from 10 to 80% in just 30 minutes, which again is very convenient. And as you know, Mercedes has worked on their entire network. You can take your electric Mercedes into any dealership and get it charged over there for free. And that's something that they promise to all their customers, which I think is just about making that ecosystem also about luxury and convenience. So that's what you get with this beautiful machine. Being behind the wheel now, taking it out for a spin is definitely something, you tend to think that a massive vehicle would be hard to drive around. Now, we were in Hyderabad and some of the roads to get out towards the highway were very small and narrow. And yet, being inside this vehicle was just so easy to drive. Of course, you've got advanced driver assistance systems to help you out, but the steering feels great. It's nice and light in the city. Maneuvering is made easier by the fact that you've got rear wheel steering as well. So even taking sharp turns or taking a U-turn is just something that it does like almost like a small car. So it's just amazing at just what sort of turning radius the EQS SUV has. But having said that, very easy to drive through town, feels great, feels really comfortable, and as you head out for a longer drive or take it out onto the highway, the steering firms up well. The suspension is definitely a highlight when it comes to the EQS SUV, because we're talking about it having adaptive damping and an air suspension system, so you can actually raise and lower the ride height. So if you were to venture off-roading with it, it can do a decent amount of that as well. We didn't go off-roading, but there is an off-road mode that the EQS SUV gets, and even on the screen you can actually toggle towards the graphics for off-roading, which is again a neat touch on such a big vehicle. But ride quality is just outstanding. You know, you want your vehicle to be comfortable, you want your vehicle to be majestic in all forms, and I think ride quality is a very essential part of a package of a vehicle that costs upwards of 1.4 crores. And over here, Mercedes has done a fantastic job to ensure that it gives you that almost S-Class like ride comfort. And that was again a key takeaway for me when I drove this around and spent a day out driving it around Hyderabad. So definitely something that does win you over, and you're really not going to complain about the comfort, the ride quality, the handling. It just tick marks all those elements and will definitely put a smile on your face. As far as safety is concerned, of course, all your key features are taken care of, and as I already mentioned, it does get level 2 ADAS, and this includes semi-autonomous driving capabilities like lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, automated parking, and a lot more. So there's a ton of features. There's actually an entire brochure you can go through. In fact, if you were to buy the EQS SUV, I think that the briefing that you would need would be a couple of hours to actually understand what this vehicle is capable of, because there's just so much packed into it to ensure that every little element has been adhered to, taken care of, whether it's for your comfort, for your convenience, for your driving pleasure, and all of that is just something that makes this one amazing machine to have on the road. Now overall, the EQS SUV is definitely something that gives you a glimpse of what to expect from other vehicles in the future, because right now for Mercedes the future is now, and they've done a fantastic job of giving you a heady mix of an EV mixed with sophistication and performance. It is really an SUV for the well-heeled, and as I mentioned, if you do have the money, which is about 1.41 crores is what the starting price on the EQS SUV is, it is a formidable package. Well, the bottom line after having experienced this machine is it makes me want to be a better person, because it is just such a machine. It's opulent, it's luxurious, it's fun to drive, and it's kitted out with just everything that you could possibly think of and more. If there's questions that you have, if you've got more questions you want to know about the EQS SUV, drop me a comment below. It's my promise and the MotorScribes promise that we answer every question that comes in on our channel.